Was a Michi Timus here. Now, one of the most prolific directors in the horror business is, of course, director James Wan. Yes, he also did, Aquaman. He has Aquaman 2 coming out. Fast 8, Fate of the Furious. Uh, oh, no, he did Furious 7, not Fate of the Furious, my bad. Um, but you know what? Despite, Furious 7 being, terrific, Aquaman being decent, I still love to see him come back to the horror world, and it looks like according to James Wan, he is very using a return to horror. James Wan is currently doing press rounds for his latest film, which is Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. But during conversation with the folks at Collider, he indicated that he may be returning to horror for his next project. Of course, when Wan got to the entertainment industry with horror, directing the franchise started the very first Saw movie. Since then, he went on to direct several other horror films, like Dead Silence, Insidious, the first two Insidious, that is, the first two Conjuring movies, and Malignant, which I think maybe is his weakest movie in my opinion. He also branched out into revenge thriller territory with Death Sentence, and of course the blockbusters Furious 7 and Aquaman. Asked what's next for him, Juan said this. I have a tendency to want to go back and forth. So whenever I may make a smaller film, I want to go and make a big film. Whenever I'm doing a big one, I'm like, oh, I want to go and do a smaller film. And when I do my smaller films, it tends to be a horror film. So I feel the itch for horror is potentially calling, but we'll see. As an example, back and forth is the fact that he of course made the Conjuring 2 between Furious 7 and Aquaman, and made Malignant between the two Aquaman movies. Now, of course, besides directing, he's also produced horror films as well. Most recent Megan, he's most likely producing Megan 2. He of course has that Night Swim coming out, which looks interesting. He's done some other cool producing stuff like Lights Out, which was great. The Annabelle movies, and also I would love to see him come back to the horror realm, especially since I love comic book films, but let's be real, he is getting lots of people are bashing on because of the whole Aquaman Lost Kingdom situation. It's yes, he's his director, but he really had no say about the whole Amber Heard being in it and stuff like that. Yeah, I understand why he wants to go back. At least with horror, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. But yeah, I'll now. He's saying he wants to come back to horror. Saw X might be looking for a new director. He was the one who brought Saw, who pretty much made Saw. What are the chances he comes back for the next Saw movie? That could be really cool. So whether that actually happens is beyond me, because I don't even think he's ever even worked on the other Saw movies. He hadn't really been part of the Saw project since I believe the very first film. I can't recall if he ever produced or did anything with the other Saw movies, but yeah, it would be cool to see him come back to the Saw world. But maybe he could come back to maybe the next Conjuring movie. That could be interesting to see him come back to. That's if Patrick Wilson doesn't, be attached to direct that one, but we'll see. Anyway, let me let you guys. What are your thoughts on James Wan wanting to come back to the horror realm? What's some of your favorite, horror films of his? Would you like to see him come back to the horror genre? Would you love to see him go back to either the Saw or the Conjuring films? Or do you think he should do a new horror film? Drop comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simu signing out.